Oh, hello, how are you? Good afternoon. So, today I'm going to share something with you, something you're going to like. Six major causes of irregular menstruation. In case you don't know what irregular menstruation is simply when your menstruation date cannot be predicted. In other words, you see your menstruation date at a particular time in a month, and by the second month you are seeing it at another date. By the third month you are seeing it at another date that you hardly believe. Even though when it do comes, it varies. Maybe the flow this time is heavier, or the flow this time is mild. Talking about how many days it can last. Before it used to last 3 days. What happened in this other month is lasting 2 days. By the third month it's lasting more than 7 days. Like totally unpredictable, varying. And you just sit down there and take your menstruation any days you see it. For the fact that we know that infrequent mild irregular menstruation, maybe your irregular menstruation happens maybe once in a blue moon, is accepted in every reproductive woman. But when your irregular menstruation becomes common, becomes frequent, that might be a problem, and you may need to see your doctor, or at least know one or two things that is causing your irregular menstruation. There is actually many causes of irregular menstruation, but I'm just going to share with you just six very quickly. And why do I choose to tell you these six? Because these six are the most common cause of irregular menstruation. So let's get there. Number one, change of environment. Did you know that when you change your environment, your menstruation date is likely to be altered, precisely to be delayed? Why? This is because your system is yet to adapt to this new environment, especially if you don't like this environment, especially if you are not used to this environment, especially if this environment is dirty and you are not comfortable with it. Your menstruation is likely to be affected. This is exactly what happens when you are in the public place and you don't have an urge to urinate, but immediately you are going to your comfort zone. Immediately you are reaching your house, you're having this serious urge to urinate. What happens that when you are being in public, you don't have such urge to urinate, but getting to your house now, you have a serious urge to urinate? Yes, this is because our system tends to work well when our mind is at peace, when our mind is in a relaxed state. So in that outside environment where you are, especially if you don't love the environment, your system doesn't know, it's easier to adapt. But immediately you're reaching to your comfort zone, a place where you can hang one leg up there, hang the other leg up there, a place where you can mess, a place where you can fart, because of your comfortable state, your menstruation is likely to flow well. I'm not talking about those who might have an urge in the public place and they tend to hold it till maybe they get to their comfort zone. They'll be like, I don't want to urinate in this public toilet because of the risk. Let me hold it when I get to my place. No, you are outside there. You don't have this urge. You went to that place to just, you don't have this urge, but immediately you reach your home, you are having the urge to urinate. That is what I'm talking about. So it doesn't matter the location you be. It might be it might be that you change your accommodation. It might be you went to your friend's house maybe to stay there for 1 week or so, and no matter the place, but you just, especially if you are not comfortable with this environment, especially if you have not adapted to this new system, your menstruation is likely to be delayed. But when you come to a place where your body is used to this system, your body knows this environment, your body have adapted. I'm talking about adaptability. Your body have adapted to this system. You are gonna be menstruating very well. That's why your menstruation tends to flow well or soft when you're in your comfort zone, when you're in your house. So if you travel, if you make a change of environment and it seems that your menstruation is delaying or stuff, it's normal, it's expected when there is a change of environment. This is because of the physiological adaptation that needs to take place in this new environment, especially if you have sent some inflammatory signals to your brain that, man, the toilet is dirty and all those kind of things. Let's get to number two. Number two, stress. No matter the type of stress, whether physical, emotional, psychological, or otherwise, you are likely going to have irregular menstruation, or sometimes mixed period. In other ways, you may miss your ovulation. Sometimes missed period due to stress, because in a stressful situation, such as even as small as illness, some illnesses like malaria, severe malaria like that, they can delay your menstruation. That's why most times when you are ill, your menstruation tends to be altered. Yes, because in a stressful situation, your body interprets your system as not yet ready for the egg that it wants to release, not yet ready. It sees the environment as not conducive for menstruation, so it tends to shrink back. So in sometimes when you are stressed, you might have a delayed menstruation. When we're talking about stress, we also talk about weight gain and weight loss. Do you know that most people, when they are stressed, they tend to get weight instead of lose weight? Yes, gaining of weight also, yes, is also a kind of stress. And when you get a lot of weight such that you are obese, it's definitely going to affect your menstruation. And most times you are going to have a mixed cycle. In other words, you are not going to be ovulating. Yes, due to excess weight gain. That is due to obesity. Why? How? Because when you are obese, there is excess adipose tissue. In other words, excess fat. And this excess fat does not work well with estrogen, an important hormone that plays part in your menstruation. So when you lose some kgs to get back to your weight, you are likely to be having your menstruation normal. But when you lose excess weight such that you become underweight, you are also likely to be having irregular menstruation or even mixed period. Why? Because your body is not producing enough fat for estrogen to work with. These two things, they work together. So when you're having extremes of kgs like weight loss, obesity, or less kg, you are predisposing yourself to irregular menstruation. So you may need to, if you're having low weight, you may need to increase your weight to normal. You understand? To start having regular menstruation. So let's talk about number 3 cause of irregular menstruation is PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. When you do some invasive procedures like abortion, miscarriage, D&C, childbirth, even sex, those things, they predispose your body to infection. And if it's not taken care of, those microorganisms can migrate to your uterus and fallopian tube and can cause you a lot of infection, discharge, odor, itching, waist pain, lower abdominal pain, and so on and so forth. So if you're having irregular menstruation or stuff, you may need to look out for some signs of infection, or you might need to see a doctor. Number 4 cause of irregular menstruation. This one is very, very common. It's one of the commonest cause of irregular menstruation. And if you're having irregular menstruation, or if you're doing this number 4 and you are having irregular menstruation, it's normal, it's expected. So what is number 4 cause of irregular menstruation? Medications, especially steroids and contraceptives. When I talk about steroids, I talk about all those beta and dexamethasone that girls normally use, or let me use the word abuse, when they want to increase adipose tissue in their breasts, in their buttocks. Why contraceptives, the medication being taken to prevent pregnancy and those things, they tend to alter your menstruation. How? Why? Because these things are hormone. These contraceptives, they are hormone, either in combination, maybe progestin alone or progestin and estrogen combination. They are hormone, so they play an important part in your menstruation. Example, the postino 2 that is being taken to prevent pregnancy. It kind of shifts your ovulation date upwards because it doesn't want you to get pregnant, so it kicks your ovulation date forward. In other words, when it kicks the ovulation date forward, you are not going to see your ovulation the day you're supposed to see it, or you might even have it missed. Or so when your ovulation date is kicked forward, your ovulation date is altered. Therefore, your menstruation date is altered. So you are not going to see the menstruation the day you're supposed to see it. Sometimes it might even come with increased bleeding or some other signs. So when you are on contraceptives, your doctor will tell you that please don't expect your menstruation to be regular. In fact, you might have period of missed menstruation. You may not see any, you may not menstruate for some time. Sometimes it will come, it will go, or sometimes it will be totally irregular. Just take it any day. As far as you're on those pills, you expect your menstruation any day you see it. So that is why, even if you stop taking those contraceptives today, your menstruation is not likely to balance immediately. Sometimes it takes 3 to 6 months before your menstruation can come back. And if you are expecting to start bearing children or stuff, you want to achieve pregnancy, you need to stop those medications because it alters your period, it alters your menstrual cycle. This is because, like I said earlier, they are hormones. They are progestin and estrogen. They are the hormones that play important roles, major hormones in your ovulation and the menstrual cycle. Let me tell you number 5th major cause of irregular menstruation is poor diet. Poor diet, when you're not taking enough food, especially proteinous food, is definitely going to show in your menstruation. And when you're not taking this enough proteinous food, it will also show in your weight. And remember, when you have less weight, you are not going to be menstruating very well. So you may need to increase your vegetables and your proteinous food, all the 6 classes of food. You may need to be taking them. When wash out any time of the month you seems to change your diet, that is a change in your routine activities, in your routine diet, to a new one that you don't like, or maybe due to change of environment and you're not eating well, wash out for your menstruation. You will see that it will be affected. So poor diet, poor nutrition is a major or another common cause of irregular menstruation. So watch out for what you eat. It affects your menstruation. So if you want your menstruation to be regular, you may need to be eating very well. You may need to be eating very, very well. Now, the last cause of irregular menstruation is a disease process. There are so many diseases that can cause irregular menstruation, but the most common one is the one we call fibroid. You know what is fibroid? An abnormal growth in your uterus that we normally remove surgically, especially if it's large. If it's large in size, it gives you irregular menstruation. Not only change in your menstruation date, it gives you some symptoms like abdominal pain, especially when it have advanced in age, in size, and also give you maybe bleeding. Also gives you bleeding. And another illness that is common in causing your irregular menstruation is what we call polycystic ovarian syndrome. It normally occurs in women who have a lot of weight. That's what we're saying. If you're obese, you're at risk of many diseases. You're causing mostly women who have a lot of weight due to a hormone called androgen. So it tends to inhibit the estrogen that is responsible for ovulation. So if you're having fibroid, you may have series of irregular menstruation and some abnormal patterns of your regulation of your menstruation, such as bleeding and pain and some other things. So these are the major cause of irregular menstruation. There are others. They are also important. You may need to do some research for that. So I have some other medical videos that are going to be popping up very soon. So for you to be getting those videos, you need to subscribe so that when I post a video, it will pump up on your phone. So thank you and have a nice day.